All right. So if you guys can kind of see, so this first one here was an open house one that I boosted. So basically I just said, come taste the food, tour the venue. If you're ready, you can RSVP here, current couples. So with this one, I just post a ton of pictures because then people kind of get an idea of what it is. The coolest thing about these posts is they get so much attention. So like 166 shares, 356 comments, 1.8 thousand likes. I think I spent 1,000 total on this one, but I booked 6 weddings at the open house. So $1,000 to book 6 weddings was totally worth it in my opinion. But so to like kind of see, and one thing that I want to tell everyone, anytime you boost a post, you have to go onto your like who liked it and you can invite them to your page. It takes forever and it sucks. It's like the longest thing ever. But
your page. So if you have someone that you're paying to do your social media and you want to kind of check in on them and see if they know what they're doing, you pull up one of those posts that has 10, 15, 20 likes, whatever it is. If they say invite next to them, that means the person doing your social media didn't go in there and invite them, and they should know that they should do that. If you don't have anyone paying for that, make sure that like Aleah just showed you, make sure you're doing that every time. You paid for those new people. It's also Facebook's way of showing you, hey, you paid for advertising here, or you did a really good post. These are newbies. These are new people to your page, which is value.
Yes. So that's how I've gotten to where I'm at. I mean, I'm at 15,000 likes on Facebook. So it's definitely a majority from sharing those and inviting people. This is one I did this morning that I'm still waiting. So all-inclusive luxury for your big day, recently engaged. I do put my pricing on here every time because I know that for me personally, I'd rather see the pricing. And then that weeds out people that are like, oh, you're too expensive or you're too cheap or whatever they want to do. So these posts usually do really good. I'm trying to see how I can show you guys exactly. Okay, my audience, here we go. So what I do is I go in and when I do my location, I create a new audience almost once a year. I usually do this just to make sure I'm getting fresh people. But so I just put in a bunch of cities that I know in Arizona. I actually typed in the richest cities of Arizona and then put them in here. Definitely helps target like a smaller, it's not just all of Arizona because I don't really want places that are 4 hours away from me. Then I always do my interests. So like this one, I did wedding cake, engagement ring, bride, wedding reception, mountains, cactus, wedding photography, the knot, engagement, because these are all things that people search for. And when I add this in here, then that's Facebook's way of knowing like, oh, this person likes the knot or they've looked up the knot. So now they're going to target people in Arizona who have looked up the knot or have looked up, I did like mountains this time just to see what would happen, and like modern wedding, rustic modern, and just different things. So coming up with keywords that fit your venue is really like important to make this audience like a perfect audience for you.
Okay, I got to interrupt there again because cactus is the craziest keyword I have ever
seen. But look at like, let me go out of this. But like but in Arizona, that's a big thing. And like my first picture is of people with cactus. So like, and this picture will probably sell my venue. So that's why I was like, maybe cactus will work. Like it's still trial and error for me too. But
no, so I love that. And I love that it matched with the picture. And so you see the picture that Aleah is using as like her main picture in that stream of pictures she has on that ad. And clearly wedding dress, groom, mountains, sunset, cactus, all of those features could be what you're using to tag in different elements that you use those tags and those keywords. Even on your website, if you're on the back end uploading images and you put 3 things in there, wedding, venue, and the city, you're missing an opportunity to put a lot more describing words in there. And as you can see, it's valuable for Aleah because it's paying off.
Yes. And then like, I will say, like I post a ton of photos on Facebook and Instagram. These ones, when I don't boost them, they don't get a whole lot. They get 9, 13, like 37. Some get more than others. But when I do schedule my venue tours, I do ask people where they find us. And 85%, I think was my last calculation, was from Facebook. So they might not be liking my stuff, but they're still seeing it. So then they can know the venue and kind of like follow us from there. And I do make it really easy to schedule tours and do everything right online. So that way there's a little less of them having to contact me to ask me, well, when are you available for tours? Because that is an exhausting question that I am very over answering, because it's hard to come up with a thing that works for both you and the client. So having the Calendly is definitely been a lifesaver for us.
So when somebody sees the Calendly link there and they click the link, And they schedule it, so they can actually schedule a tour there in that location from what
So
you've
they
listed
can
available.
Yeah, so they can do venue tour, and then I have what days I have available. This weekend we're kind of booked, so we don't have a whole lot. But and then what's cool on here, so then they can pick a time. So let's just do 3:30. It'll ask for their name, their email, their fiance's name, their desired wedding date, their estimated guest count, their phone number, their budget, and then what they want included. So we do offer all inclusive. So I have some that are all inclusive, but I have my own photo, I have my own officiant, and then I ask where they found us. And this, I didn't used to ask this, and I learned this on the Austin trip. I was like, why don't I ask? Because I just assumed I knew. I did not know. I thought I knew, but I didn't. Finding this and like having this here, I've had 3 people find me from TikTok. I didn't know that that was a thing. I was like, wait, what? You found us on TikTok? So yeah,
I love that.
Knowing where people are finding you is huge. Because yeah, one of our brides posted their grand entrance on TikTok, and it got like 1.5 million views. And then I got 3 TikTok ones, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But that shows that TikTok actually does something.
I love it. I love TikTok, and it's not inundated with wedding content yet. So
right.
Really recommend.
But yeah, so I guess my next question, does anyone have questions about like what I'm doing on Facebook and how I'm doing it? Or does that make sense? Facebook also too, so everyone knows, Facebook does offer like free marketing experts, and you can meet with their experts and they'll kind of help you. I haven't really seen that it like changes what I've been doing too much, but if you have any questions on it, they are really good about it. They'll spend like an hour with you explaining how all of it works, which I think is really cool. I mean, it's how they get more money because then you advertise more with them, but they do have that, which is awesome.
All right. Does anybody have questions? I know you guys have questions. Questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
Hey, it's Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
So you spent $1,000 on that boost. So how often are you doing that? And what's your average? Do you find that if you spend more, overall it's better, or if you trickle out? Like, what's your takeaway on that?
So I find that like if I spend like 500, and I usually only boost 4 to 10 days max. I don't usually boost too long. Just I don't know why, but I feel like I just get a lot more when it's like fresh and just recently posted. So, but I usually do about 500 per post. I've done 300 before. You get a decent amount, but I definitely feel like 500 has been like a really good number for me. But even if I did like 100, I still get something out of it. So, I mean, you can kind of do it and see what works for you, but definitely almost any amount will get you somewhere. I mean, if you're boosting like $20, that's probably not going to help, but it just kind of has to, you can do one for 100, see if it works. And then if it is, you're like, oh, wow, I booked 3 weddings from this. Next time you can be like, oh, 500 would be totally worth it because I might book 10 weddings or whatever it is.
And of course, the thing to remember too with Facebook.
Yeah, are you doing that more than once a month?
Usually I do it about once a month, sometimes less. It just really depends on if I don't have a lot of venue tours, then I go on and schedule one to see. Like today, I was like, oh, I haven't done it in like a month and a half, so I was like, let me do one today to see if I get some more venue tours and see where it goes. I definitely have noticed, so like when I do post, my phone starts blowing up and I get a bunch of phone calls, and like it's crazy how much. But Facebook's weird, so like it's hard to know. Sometimes Facebook works really well for some people, and sometimes it like takes a little while to get there. So Facebook, the algorithms are so crazy that you definitely have to make sure you're targeting the right people to make it worth it.
And also the days. Do you have a preferred day that you start your ads?
Yes. Don't ever start an ad on the weekend. Fridays and Saturdays are the worst days ever, because if you think about it too, most people aren't on their phones Fridays and Saturdays. They're out with friends or they're doing something. I've noticed like Sunday nights to like Thursdays are like the best time, because in the mornings, like before people go to work, they have time to look at their phone. At night when they're like, or at work, they have time to look at their phone. So I feel like weekends are always terrible, but during the week is always really good. Like the one I boosted today, I posted it for today until Thursday. Because by Friday, I usually lose interest and I don't get anything. I've had it where I posted one on the weekend, like forgetting that it was the weekend, and I literally got nothing out of it. And I was like, wait, I spent a lot of money on this. This sucks. So yeah, never post on the weekends. If your ad goes through the weekend, it should be fine, but make sure it ends like on a weekday. Starts and ends on a weekday.
And do you do all images now because you love the variety of images you have? Do you post like 15-second videos, or what's the?
So videos do. So I was going to show you guys this too. So I did post some videos. I post a lot. So I post on Instagram more, and I post on Instagram and then it shares to Facebook too. But like I posted this video, which it was a 2-girl wedding with double dresses. So if you ever have a 2-girl wedding, just know that you will get a lot from it because people go crazy over those. But so I did post this video of their grand entrance, and I did get 140,000 views, and I did not boost it at all. So videos definitely work. I've just never had good experience with boosting videos. I feel like videos are something that you already, because people share it. I don't necessarily want it to play, but this one got 25 comments, 139,000 views. And for some reason, it's not showing my shares, but it got a bunch of shares too. And that's usually how you get more, is by people sharing it. And then it goes to other people's Instagrams and Facebooks and whatever.
So do you have a preferred method, a photo release or anything that you get all of your couples to do? Is that in your contract?
So that's in the photographer's contract, actually. The photographer signs when the photographer meets with them. I only use the 2 photographers that I post. Other people can bring in their own photographer, but I only post the 2. And the photographers put it in their contract saying that we can release all their images to social media. I've only had 3 weddings ever say that they didn't want us to post it.
So that's kind of
I have a question, and I've been kind of out in the woods, so I might have missed it. But on the thing where you do the scheduling, is that something you're able to do through Facebook?
Oh, yes. So that is the best thing ever. So if you have Business Suite, let me see. I don't know if I have it on my computer. If you have Business Suite, you can schedule your posts. That's another thing. For anyone that's kind of new to social media, it's really good to have a presence on social media, but don't go post like 20 photos on social media in one day, because all that's going to do is get people to unfollow you. Because if they're taking up too much of their feed, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, who is this person? Go away. So if you have time to schedule posts, I schedule my posts usually a month out. So you can do Business Suite, you can do it on your phone or here. So you can write your text, and then let me see. I'm just going to post something. You should be able, okay. So yeah, so if you guys can
And
see,
real quick,
yeah.
Good and keep doing that. Oh, sorry. I know that, but you can show it for anybody else. I'm sorry, I misworded that. Scheduling for allowing people to schedule venue tours. That's what I was.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're totally fine. So just make sure everyone knows that you can schedule posts, so that way, like, you can get them all done for like a month, and then you're not having it, because social media takes a lot of time, and you have to be in a creative mood. And I've noticed that sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to caption these. So if I'm in a mood to be creative, it's kind of nice to just go through and schedule like 20, 30 posts. I usually don't post more than 3 a day, because otherwise it gets a little much, but I usually do about 3 a day. And then, okay, so what was your question? Sorry.
the calendar scheduling.
Yeah. So what was, I guess I missed what the question was.
So when you're allowing people to schedule tours, are you doing that on Facebook or is that on your website? I just didn't see where that happened.
It's on Calendly or Calendly or whatever they call this one. So it's a third party. They have a free version or they have a paid version. The free version does pretty much everything you need to do. So it's on Calendly, and then you can edit on here. You can edit your availability pretty easily. So you can go through and set it up for the whole, whatever, if you want to book 3 months out, you can set up 3 months out of what days you want to be available and what times. But it is on Calendly.
That kind of thing. So how much time do you think in the course of a week do you actually spend on social media?
Oh man, that's okay. So I'm totally guilty of being like, I'm like on social media and like people are like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, yeah, but I'm working. So I do it like all the time. I'm on Facebook a lot, but to like actually do posts and stuff, I would say I probably spend probably like 3 or 4 hours in a week total just on social media. But that's me scheduling my posts and just sitting there for like an hour and a half typing out and Pinteresting ideas for stupid quotes that I think people might like. Because that's my hardest part. I'm like, I don't know what to say in all of these. Like, I have these beautiful photos, but I'm like, I never know what to caption. So I would say probably, but then other weeks I don't spend that much time. So it kind of varies based upon too, like if I get a bunch of new photos from my photographer, then I spend a lot of time getting those ready and stuff. But yeah, I would say probably 3 or 4 hours a week.
Okay, that's not as bad as I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I don't spend that much time. I mean, I try and go on quite a bit just to like review, like if people are tagging me in. Which another thing, if you guys aren't a part of like wedding venue groups, within local communities, like your brides to be Arizona and like those kind of things, I definitely recommend that, because I do get a lot of brides that like go on there and they're like, I'm looking for a venue. And then now I start getting tagged in it. So then I send a message like, hi, I'm venue at Chilleen's. Here's our pricing and stuff like that. So those are always good groups to be in too. But those take up a lot of my time too, just to make sure I'm replying to those and like having an active social media presence.
Sure. Okay,
But yeah,
thank
no,
you.
not too bad.
And I do want to say, as far as being on Facebook, is remember that it's like a networking event. You are meeting them and they're meeting you. You're interested in them and they're interested in you. So take, I would say 20 or 30 minutes a week and just, go on all those local business pages for flowers and cakes and everything and like their posts, like, some of those pages. Make sure that you're, if it's coming through your feed, like, and give them support too, because the more you are kind of out there sending that love outwards, not just taking it in, like, it's a two-way street, and it does create a lot of value for you as you're in your own wedding community, liking those pages, sharing their comments, sharing their content. If you don't have a lot of content to offer, especially initially, sharing those pretty flowers from the florist on your page makes sense. Sharing the pretty wedding dresses on your page makes sense. And it also gets the attention of those vendors and gives you attention on those pages that are already set up and successful. And that goes for Instagram and TikTok and everything else.
I have a question. Like we just recently did a wedding and the photographer sends all the pictures, and I kind of like did a whole collage of pictures. Should I not do it that way? Should I just put out a few at a time?
Yeah, I recommend doing a few at a time. When you do the collage, like you can do those sometimes, but one, you're saturating it all at once, and now you just lost the ability to do multiple posts, and you run out of content then because you're like, well, I already posted all of those. So I never do a bunch at a time anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. So I usually just do like one or two, and then I post them throughout the week or the month or whatever I want to do, just so then I get more content, because you only get those views that one time when you post 10 photos at once. But if you post 10 photos separately, you just got multiple views. Does that make sense? You get more out of it.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. And that was just a sneak preview. So we have a lot more coming. So I'll definitely spread them out. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I have another question. What about Instagram? Do you boost your stuff on Instagram too? Like we're thinking Instagram is the place we're missing. And I've never done advertising or anything on Instagram. So how do you handle that?
So I don't do boosting on Instagram. What I do on Instagram is I go find local like florists, local photographers, other local venues, and I go to theirs and I see who's been liking their stuff, and I go follow all of those people. It's very time consuming, but those are people that are already looking at venues. So I'm going on and following all of them, and they're like, wait, venue at Chilleen's, where's that at? And then they click to request to follow me. And when I do that, I usually get a couple hundred extra followers. And then definitely working with like your photographers and stuff to do giveaways and like stuff like that is always a really good one. If they want to do like a free engagement shoot or something, if you post that on Instagram, then people share your page to get that. So doing giveaways on Instagram is what I've noticed works really well. Boosting on Instagram, I haven't really noticed it works at all, actually. And that might be something I just haven't learned yet. I don't know if anyone else has a good experience with boosting on Instagram. But from my experience, just posting stuff is what's been getting me higher up, and going and following other people that are similar in interests. Angela, want to say something?
Somebody else? Nope. I do like Instagram. I still feel that Facebook is a little bit better for the money. And then I will schedule things on Instagram that also go over to Facebook and vice versa. So you can do that as well. Make them go to both places so that you're getting that ad on both, because Facebook owns Instagram. So
yeah. And I still post on Instagram like every single day. I post the images that I post on Instagram are the ones I share to Facebook too. So I still post on there. I just don't boost anything on there because I haven't seen the return as much as I do on Facebook, because it's easier to share things on Facebook than it is on Instagram. Instagram's more of like, I mean, you can send it to somebody if you want, but I mean, my posts have been getting like anywhere from 70 to like 150 likes, sometimes a little bit more. So I still get the engagement there, but the best way to get followers I found is to just go follow a bunch of accounts, and then they start to follow you back, and then go from there.
And remember right now that streaming is so popular, every single platform is telling you it's their best source of getting engagement and screen time. I mean, they're calculating how much screen time they get on Instagram, how much screen time they get on Facebook, how much screen time on TikTok. They're all competing with TikTok right now for those short, awesome, videos basically, or streaming or live streaming. So if you're going to start to play around a little, play around with the reels, get familiar with Facebook Live. Facebook Live is great. Facebook wants you to use those platforms, so they will broadcast them more and they won't reduce the reach. If you've noticed, on most people's pages, you're not getting any reach unless you are boosting or promoting. In your groups, you get a lot of reach. If you're doing reels or lives or, anything that helps them compete with TikTok right now, they're going to give a lot more visibility to. So play around with those and then do it on a schedule. Amber, do you guys do a scheduled live each week? Do you have a time that you guys are doing? I know some of our venues, Deer Ridge, I don't think they're on here today, but I think they do theirs at a scheduled time every week, their Facebook Lives. And they're, drinking a little wine and having a little fun with it. And it's just to get to know us as venue owners. This is something that we did this weekend, or this happened at our wedding this weekend, or we had this fun experience, or guess what? All the flowers are blooming. It doesn't have to be Pulitzer Prize winning content. It just, remember, this is all about storytelling. You're sharing your story with your potential clients, with your prospective customers who want to get to know you and your venue. And obviously the Amber and Lindsay, you guys are on TikTok now, is that right?
I think Lindsay's been working the Tim Tom a little bit. Yeah. We don't schedule our Facebook Lives because we can't commit to that right now, just because
too much pressure.
Like if something's going down, or if our kids are, in Lindsay's case, teething, or mine are sick, or but I feel like Facebook Live is something that we do pretty well, because we will just randomly, I'll be like, it's a beautiful day, and I'll just go live, and people like that, and we have people in our community that watch it, and then they share it, and so it does. But what we've noticed is, even if, like you said, it's me showing you a squirrel, like Facebook likes us because we did a live. So now it's going to show our other posts that are more important, is kind of what I feel like happens. Because it's like, oh, these people are, doing live videos and we like them. So it just bumps us up on everybody's algorithm. We try to make it a goal to go live before every wedding and just show, like, here's the decor today and here's what's going on. And, but again, that can be a little bit of pressure to like commit to that, and then we do posts about our family and stuff, because like you said, it is about the business, but it's also, they're also, in our case, they're getting us. So they like to see, like, our kids are here feeding the fish today, or my mom and dad are here making sure everything is going smooth. They like to see that we are a family. So, and they loved our post about going to the venue in Austin. People were asking us, like, oh, how was your trip? What did you learn? What did you, even just people that stop by. So.
Yep, I agree with that. If you get the opportunity to post anything personal on your business page, it is well worth it.
I wanted to give a couple of shout outs, of course, to Aleah and the venue at Chilleen's, which, thank you so much for providing this incredible information. Nobody in the history of ever usually shares exactly how they create successful Facebook advertising and shares it with other venue owners. And that just continues to prove the point that we are a community over competition group, that we understand the principle of more connections, more colleagues, more information, rather than shutting ourselves off to the world and saying, no, we don't want to connect with anybody or share anything. Just sit here by ourselves in the dark and pretend that we know what we're doing. So I want to thank you so much for doing that. I also want to thank We Do Weddings, which is owned and operated by the Mom Maison. So those of you who went to Nashville, Karen wasn't able to make it to the Nashville event. Karen Moyes with the Mom Maison, she has been so incredibly supportive of this group. She has spent thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years on advertising, and has not been very satisfied with that as a venue owner. So she created We Do Weddings, which is kind of a wedding venue owner to couple matchmaking website. So it's, it's growing and developing, but I absolutely adore her and really want to give her a shout out for supporting our trips and supporting us at the Degas house, of course, because that was just an incredible experience for those of you who got to go to New Orleans. And David is one of the bed and breakfasts that would love to have you stop by if you are traveling to New Orleans, and probably love you up extra, and maybe even have a special offer for our group members that decide they want to travel and want to go and stay for a corporate hotel. They are an awesome choice. The ladies at Butler's Courtyard, who are awesome and, helping us plan a Houston trip. I want to thank them. River and Bridges, which is North Carolina. I'm not sure if she made it on today, but they have a stunning, gorgeous venue. And I think that they will be part of our Raleigh-Durham trip, which is going to be exciting. So all of the venues that really go above and beyond to support us. And then I have a request. So my request would be to help us grow our group. And if you guys would use I created the venue alumni graphics so that you can show that you went to a wedding venue owner's working vacation. And I would love if I saw those on your socials or on your websites, of course, linking the link back to the page on weddingvenueowners.com. And then, of course, even just sharing on your socials and telling people, hey, there is this group for venue owners and venue management, and you are welcome. Please join in the fun, join this group, go over there and say hi. It's a welcome. Also going to start doing a wedding hangover podcast so that as we start going, we will have our venue owners just with their incredible expertise. For those of you that went to Nashville, we showed up at Annie's Acres, and she is a CPA. And so we completely pillaged her brain for all kinds of crazy, amazing. Also, the ladies with the template house, I did not know that Tara has raised over $500,000 in grants for the fire department in Nashville that she works with part-time. So she understands grant writing inside and out. And so she is going to do a podcast in the future on how our small business owners can get grants and write grants for themselves. And I mean, it is amazing the information that you all know and are willing to share with each other. So I am going to try and do a better job of that weekly as we build up those. So as you have expertise, we'll schedule a topic, we'll do that podcast, and then we'll broadcast it via YouTube so that I can start to really connect with each of you more and share some of the great information that you have that everybody else would, benefit from. So those are some of the things that are coming up. We have obviously a lot of fun to be had on our venue owners working vacation. In Nashville, we had the ladies from the Annex, which is in Buffalo, New York. So they are also going to start helping us plan a Niagara Falls area venue owners working vacation, which would be hella fun because it's so close to Canada. And we do have some Canada venues. Maybe they would pop on over and join in. So we have a lot of fun stuff, and wouldn't mean anything at all without each of you individually bringing all of your incredible information and expertise.
What are the next cities and dates? Do you have them locked down? Because I want to get my daughter and I to come back to another one.
So Charleston is next. Charleston is so lovely and so beautiful and very affluent. So that's going to be a different type of city to tour. And then after that is Raleigh-Durham. Use it when I tour us. And then after that is Savannah. And after Savannah, I think is
Chicago.
Yes. Thank you, David. So I'm working on Chicago right now. And I think that for October, which is probably going to sound insane because everybody's super busy in October, but you know what? It's always inconvenient to somebody. So I think we're going to do Chicago and Houston both in October, and then Niagara in November. Involvement. And then Aleah has also agreed that we need to arrange a time to come out to Phoenix.
We have some gorgeous venues here that do really good. So it would be awesome for everyone to see what Arizona has to offer.
I'll have to come for that one for sure.
Yeah. So, and then I know that a lot of people have asked me about Portland and Seattle. So we're thinking about that. Also Colorado as, and then of course, every March, David, we will be in New Orleans. We will never not have a New Orleans March. It was wonderful. It was so much
It
fun.
was, it was great having everybody.
I think we're going to go ahead and log off, guys, and say farewell to everybody. And